severely injure you, Andrew.
I am the guy that's coming to put you away for good.
You know what, Chase? Although I am going to beat you, from the bottom of my heart, all bullshit aside, all bravado aside, even though you just threatened a man with 4 children with brain damage, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope you get up and you're in perfectly good health. That's what I hope.
I hope you wake up in a hospital.
Well, that's the difference in our characters, and we're going to see which one God rewards.
Well, we don't want to talk about character tonight, buddy. Let's just be honest about that.
Your ex-girlfriend is literally in my DMs.
This new generation of people don't understand the lines. Karma is real. Wishing genuine harm on people or insulting people's coaches or doing these terribly heinous
Your coach
things,
is a fat ass.
you end up paying the price. And we're going to see on the night.
Fraud.
I promise you, continue to disrespect me. Unfortunately for you, you're not going to have a career afterward.
I'm the heavyweight champion. I do what I want. You do what I say.
Many have tried, all have failed. Defending his Misfits heavyweight belt, Chase DeMoor. December 20th, Misfits Mania. The fight before Christmas. All questions will be answered in this main event. Who takes the belt home? Who takes the pride, the glory? And who takes the win? Folks, give it up one more time for your main event on December 20th for the Misfits Heavyweight Championship. Andrew Cobra Tate versus the GOAT, Chase DeMoor.
Hey guys, this video goes out to Amit Sehgal out of BC. This guy is this is my boy, all right? Amit is one of those guys that he's been talking to me a lot about Andrew Tate versus Chase DeMoor, this fight that's up and coming, and it's because of him I actually dropped one of my videos earlier about this fight, and I was actually starting to get really intrigued about this. As many of you know, Andrew Tate, very controversial, social media influencer, CEO, entrepreneur, very similar to like Jake Paul, his path, and he also has a very impressive kickboxing record, guys. And then you got Chase DeMoor, who's with Misfits Boxing. And he's the current title holder, and then Andrew Tate, who was a fighter on the same platform, on the same organization, now turned CEO, who's taken over for KSI, and he's also fighting as well too. So this whole thing is absolutely mesmerizing. It's entertaining, and it's going to be huge, guys, and it's all going down very shortly. But before I kind of get into that, I mean, Andrew Tate's been out of the fight scene for a little bit now, right? So this is kind of like a comeback fight for this social media, mega influencer, and I say that respectfully because what Andrew Tate's been able to achieve in social media rivals what a lot of other. He's at a different level, guys. He's completely at a different level. Almost anyone you talk to in the world knows Andrew Tate's name. Okay, and so he's a big deal. Now, Chase DeMoor, I've never heard of Chase DeMoor before. And even Misfits Boxing, a little bit here, a little bit there, when KSI was kind of running things, but didn't really pay that much attention to it. But now, I'm really, really interested. And I don't know if that's because it's Andrew Tate, but it must be because Andrew Tate's such a big name that you naturally just gravitate towards it, right? So, now, the thing comes down, here's the whole complexity of all this, right? Is Chase DeMoor just out there throwing like Hail Mary mind games, hoping that, throwing whatever to the wall, whatever sticks kind of sticks? Because the way he's trying to build up this hype into this fight is actually pure chaos. It's actually, if I was his PR, if I was his publicist or, on his PR team, even on his management team, I'd be like, Chase, man, hold back from the insults. I mean, he's insulting his current boss. He's about to go to war with his current boss, and he's insulting him at the same time. Not a good look. That's kind of like Rock with the TKO group. And that's like you have a match with The Rock, but you completely insult him and everything that he's done. And calling him things like fraud. Like what do you think is going to happen to your professional career? Anyways, guys, I want to talk about Andrew Tate, his comeback. I want to talk about Chase DeMoor. I want to talk about this fight that these guys are having on December 20th. Misfits Boxing for the world title. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. It's pure chaos. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. And around here, we break everything. We break everything, guys. We talk about anything that's trending in the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, in the wild world of boxing. And guys, like combat sports is like popping off on different cylinders. And when that happens, we're covering it. And so kudos to Amit Sehgal, my boy out of BC, for talking to me about the story initially, and because of him, I'm absolutely excited about this fight. So let's get into this. Tate versus DeMoor. Madness, because the story is actually heating up faster than fast. So let's get into it. I want to talk about what's going down. Chase DeMoor, Misfits heavyweight champion. All right. I mean, like, this is interesting, guys. I mean, like, Chase DeMoor, first of all, he's a crossover boxer. He's got a 4-2-1 record as of 2025. He's got some big size on this guy. He's a heavyweight fighter, and he's purely chaotic, apparently, when he gets in the ring. I don't know too much about him, but from the little that I was able to see and read, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. There are some criticisms in terms of how he fights, his approach, his stamina could be in question, and they're not. His fights are not very clean. Okay, he comes off very super aggressive, and a lot of fighters like this do. And then you start to see the lactic acid start building up in their arms and legs, and they start to slow down. And I'm expecting a little bit of that happening in this fight. Then again, you got Andrew Tate, who has a 76-9-1 record. He's like a former kickboxer champion, world champion. He's got K1 full contact, experience. He's 1-0 in MMA. And you know what? 76 wins, 9 losses, guys, 1 draw, right, in kickboxing, and then in his MMA record, 1-0. I mean, boxing, he's been kind of inactive and stuff like that. I'm not too sure about his boxing record, but compared to Chase DeMoor's 4 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, I think. And look, Chase he's an athlete. He's played professional football. So, this is going to be interesting, guys. Tate has got that elite kickboxing experience. He knows how to train. DeMoor's boxing is somewhat kind of new, and he's been kind of active in a lot of crossover sports. So, Tate is very technical of a fighter. Chase is very chaotic. He relies on it. He relies more on his size and his strength, and just kind of like a brute. He's going to get in there. He's going to try to get in fast. So if Andrew Tate's going to want to win this fight, he's going to have to weather the storm early and then use his experience and start to become a tactician in the ring, hitting him with jabs and body shots and start working him, and I think that's what Andrew Tate's got to do in this one, right? But, this story is heating up, guys. It's pure madness. But recently, these guys had a presser, all right? And I want to talk a little bit about this. I want to talk about what actually went down because, Chase DeMoor, when he was in front of Andrew Tate, he was like, oh, he's old, he's hurt, he's been out of the game, blah, 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 the same kind of stuff that normally people. But I mean, a lot of these are like low blows, right? And then Andrew Tate, he didn't waste time. He basically said, yeah, bro, of course, like I've got more to lose. I gave a nobody a chance. So she's talking about him. I've beaten bigger men, tougher men, real fighters, and even bigger problems outside of the ring. And you know what? He's kind of right about that. If you look at his record, and if you look at Andrew Tate, a lot of the fighters he's been fighting, a lot of these guys are like tough guys, man, really tough guys. And then, of course, all the stuff that Andrew Tate's dealing with outside of the ring, yeah, that's not really physical experience, but that's mental, right? So for Andrew Tate to be able to control his physical and mental, ability, I think that's huge, and I think that's really important, especially when you go into a fight, because it's not all about physicality. You could be the biggest, strongest looking guy in the ring, but if your mental acuity is not 100%, you're going to lose. All right? And anyways, that's Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is just confident. If you know anything about Andrew Tate, he's always been confident. He doesn't like to whine. He's cocky. He's unbothered. He's cool, calm, and collected like a cucumber, but, he'll jab right back at you. He's not shy to not throw back, right? And so, anyhow, look, I'm not trying to take sides here. I'm trying to give you guys more of an unbiased opinion. But on paper, definitely Andrew Tate is the tougher guy. But because of his inactivity as of late, he's going to be fighting a guy who is just honestly known for his strength and brutality. It is going to be a bit of a challenge. It's going to be a bit of an uphill climb for Andrew Tate. But that doesn't mean he can't weather the storm. That doesn't mean that Andrew Tate can't win. I believe Andrew Tate will win this fight. I'm predicting he's going to win this fight because I believe skill over strength, experience over chaos. I truly feel that if Andrew Tate sticks to his experience, his know-how, and relies on his stamina and energy levels, I think he could beat Chase DeMoor. Okay, but I mean, his confidence definitely helps, and the fact that, but what's kind of going against him is the fact that Andrew Tate hasn't fought in years. Okay, this is unfortunately gonna be kind of like his Achilles heel, because he's walking straight into a battle, guys. He's walking into a war, and he's walking into a fight against a guy who is big, who is strong, and I'm sure that youthfulness that Chase DeMoor brings to the table, he's going to try to put down Andrew Tate as quick as he can. So expect explosiveness, fireworks right off the get-go. You don't want to miss this fight, guys. But here's the thing. Chase DeMoor, you can't, just because he doesn't have as much of a bigger, a long, professional record like Andrew Tate does, you can't count him out, right? I mean, 6 fights this year. Not many people fight that many times. I mean, you have to give it to Chase. Like, he's out there. He's putting his body on the line each and every time, right? He knocked out the last guy in round number 1. And that's, yeah. Like, that's pretty, that's kind of making a statement, guys, because he's coming into this fight trying to reciprocate, trying to mirror his efforts from his last fight. And if you're Andrew Tate, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get knocked out in the first round. All right, well, there's a possibility Andrew Tate will go down and hit the canvas, but Andrew Tate's going to have to try to find a way to get back up, right? And Andrew Tate's good at the mind games. Again, he's got that mental toughness. So if he's able to dig down and he could actually pull this off, guys. He really could. And so, look, Andrew Tate himself knows that he's walking into a big fight here. Okay, he's got everything to lose, nothing to really gain out of this. I mean, he will gain. Like, if he does come out of this and he wins, I think that's great. I think Andrew Tate should take the win if he does win, and not fight anymore, and focus on his business, focus on Misfits, focus on building the brand. Too many times when you have player coaches, I don't know, it just doesn't. I think you don't see Dana White in the ring, right? You don't see Turkey El Sheikh in the ring. You don't see Oscar De La Hoya in the ring anymore, even though he could, right? So anyways, guys, I mean, we'll see what happens. Okay? And look, Andrew Tate, Chase DeMoor, I think you got to watch this, guys. I mean, the exchange between these guys was just pure comedy. You saw it earlier in my video here. Chase was saying for a heavyweight title fight, there shouldn't be one. Tate fired back saying, I didn't sign anything. You signed it. And it was straight chaos, guys, like pure Misfits energy. I mean, Chase was just, in my opinion, he was unprofessional. If that's the way he has to hype up a fight, it's unclassy. You don't need to knock a person. You could talk about, you could put a person down without hitting them low blow. You have to know what I'm talking about here, right? I mean, there's a way to be tactful and cocky and to be able to, at the same time. You could talk about your record versus their record. You could talk about yourself. Talk about what you're planning on doing in the ring. But the more you insult your opponent, it actually makes them look better. All right. So anyways, guys, is this fight bigger than the Misfits Boxing itself? I mean, for Tate's comeback after 5 long years of being out of the ring, I mean, that could really go against him, right? I mean, Chase is trying to prove that he's not just a reality TV boxing fighter anymore. He's really trying to prove that he's a fighter. He's a good fighter. And look, all of this, guys, is happening in Dubai, where the stakes always feel a little bit higher. Tate is marketed as as the A side, but Chase is really the champion here, and you can't take that away from him. That alone sets up a crazy dynamic. And honestly, if Tate really is injured, this is severely going to impact his game on his fight on December 20th. Okay, and Chase could just completely steamroll right over him, and then it's done within the first couple rounds, even. So I don't know, just because I'm hearing and reading a lot of things that Andrew Tate might still be injured. So this could actually go against Andrew Tate in a lot of different ways. And so anyways, I mean, it could also mean kind of like a passing of the torch moment, right? But I mean, if Chase pulls off this upset, and is it an upset? I mean, one will say, well, why is it going to be an upset if he's the world champion right now? Right? But anyhow, if he does pull off the win over Andrew Tate, then Misfits definitely has a new megastar, right? And then Andrew Tate, I mean, that would be a brutal hit to his whole brand and what he's trying to do with Misfits, and now he's just become the new CEO. That's going to be kind of awkward for a little bit there. I mean, how much respect really would he have at his fighters if he got knocked out or beaten badly by the guy that he fought? I mean, how do you, I guess you know what I'm trying to say here, right? So, I mean, this puts Andrew Tate in a very, very dangerous territory. So now he's got to put up, and he's got to come out of this victorious. But yeah, because if Chase wins, it could be over for Misfits Boxing. Honestly, Chase might actually be happy about winning the fight, but he might do more damage to his own brand, or at least the organization that he works for. He might have to look for another place to fight. But I mean, again, we're talking about influencer boxing here. This fight could change everything. And if Tate does end up winning, and say he wins in grand fashion, could this potentially set himself up for a fight against Jake Paul or KSI? Wouldn't that be an interesting twist, right? The guy that he took the company from, KSI and Andrew Tate locking horns? Or what about Logan Paul? I mean, guys, the internet would seriously melt down, right? It would, yeah. Personally, I think Tate took this fight because he definitely wants to prove something. Like, there are videos and it shows that he's trying to show that he's relevant, and he wants to challenge himself. He wants to see if he's still got it, not to Chase, but to himself. But Chase is younger, he's active, he's super hungry, he's motivated. So don't sleep on this guy. This fight is way more closer than people think, right? So, anyways, I think Tate is going to win this fight. And if he doesn't, then that's a different story. But what do you guys think? Is Tate cooked? Or is Tate going to be on top here? Is Chase in for a rough night at Dubai? Or is he going to walk out victorious within the first couple rounds? Drop your predictions and comments below, guys. Thanks again, Amit. Look forward to seeing you soon. Anyways, I want to see where the community stands on this. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash a like and subscribe. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk, more drama, and all the trending combat sports stories that your hearts can imagine. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.